Good morning, and today we decided to stay home in the morning and make breakfast. Local bread and some sausages, and we have some milk that we brought, and we're gonna make coffee. So, yeah, sounds like a good day.
So this is one of the designated parking areas for the area of Perast, and the total amount that we paid was 8 euros, which is the minimum. But can you look at how beautiful the view is even from a parking lot?
So, we have reached Perast now. It's a cute little town.
Very cute.
Yeah. It's going to take like half an hour at least to cover the whole thing on foot. Look at how crystal clear the water is, and the sun is on its peak.
And we are with our good outfits.
Yeah, outfit check.
Outfit check.
More closer look to the town. You have these cute little shops.
To the left.
Oh yeah, this tree is taking
I
a
think it's
different
gonna
approach.
be. See, every tree is like that.
Yeah, all of
Little.
these boats from here, but we've already booked ours online from Kotor. That's the restaurant that's popular for the Perast tort or Perast Cake.
Because we had planned stops to eat throughout the day, we only went for the Perast cake from the menu. The Perast cake is primarily made with almonds, and it has a nutty and a fruity flavor with a very crumbly texture. Tea or coffee would make a really nice pairing with this rather crumbly cake. It was developed back in the day so that seafarers could take this cake on their journey for a quick snack. The fruity flavor comes with the addition of cherry liquor, and Ambarish could guess the notes really right.
It tastes quite fruity.
Fruity.
Yeah, I know.
Perast has started popping up in many itineraries now, but it's still relatively less crowded than Kotor. So most people just do a day trip, but you can stay in Perast or nearby because there's so many things to do. Like admire the architecture, the sandstone buildings give this golden hue to the entire city, and you can even swim if you like from one of the pavements. Simply sit and contemplate life.
What about Montenegro and Perast is that there are these benches and a view pretty much like everywhere that.
Or you could grab a book to accompany you, or you could sail in one of the nice boats. And obviously there are a lot of restaurants along the coast to dine. But what we decided to do was trust our feet and keep walking, and a lot more walking. And trust me, we were not tired at any point because we were just blown away by the beautiful views. So in my itinerary, Perast is a must-visit picturesque destination. And while you're at it, you can play with cats as well.
Not you. Cat person detected by the cat. And cat detected by the cat person, obviously.
I've observed is cats over here have a small head as compared to other cats.
Really? But they do have a pretty healthy body.
Yes, that's what. Their body is healthy, but
Yeah.
for some reason they are like.
They're well fed, have great quality of life, I suppose.
I miss you already, my furry ball.
Lots of walking. We sat in a church and got a moment to catch our breath.
See, even the highway has a good footpath built around it, so it's pretty safe to be walking. And you can see the hills, you can see the sea wherever you go. And
What are these? Are these
some tree with a fruit.
pomegranate or something?
I don't know what it is.
Can you comment on this video what this fruit might be?
We don't know the right answers, so please don't expect. But
And right answers only.
I mean, look at the view of the rocks.
We started walking to our Oyster Farm, where we were going to grab a quick bite of seafood, but we soon got distracted and we ended up finding
Covered like a path to go downstairs, and no one's here. So I think it would be a nice secluded spot. Ooh, our private little dock. This is so nice. walking on the highway to go to an oyster slash mussel farm where they literally just harvest oysters right there and there, and they serve you in their little restaurant. So it's a little bit of a 15-minute walk from the parking.
I have not walked on a path like this close to the sea, so the way if you are driving, you need to walk to really soak in the view.
That's
because
how you've known that you have reached your destination, and I think those are where they harvest as well. We'll take 1 kg mussels and 2 pieces of oysters for now.
This was one of our favorite food stops in Montenegro. It made us realize how a certain food is supposed to be in its peak freshness. I mean, we've been having oysters before this as well in some places in London, but I never really liked oysters back then in those experiences, but this was different.
And some bread to go along with it. It's quite a lot of seafood, good protein straight from the sea from us.
best mussels I've ever tasted in my
Really?
life. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a fresh catch, obviously, so insane.
Agree, like the base. Very nice. It's a beautiful view. Can't get more authentic than this, I suppose.
The real joy was getting it all in one bite, especially this super subtle but extremely flavorful broth.
But I'm
Time to slurp. This is something else. This is like I am in the sea right now.
This is the freshest serving of food I've ever seen.
मस्त है ना? बाप.
Cannot go wrong. I'm just happy to eat seafood. But that's
Finally.
it.
Reached Kotor and we found a nice public parking spot of this mall called Camellia. And it's a paid parking spot, but it's pretty central, so it's convenient for us. From the mall, you walk a little bit ahead and you reach this gate, which is the walls of the old town of Kotor. Where you have all the restaurants, people eating, shopping. Once we've entered the town, we've decided not to take any particular path, as there are some cute little paths and we're just gonna follow whichever path we want to follow.
It's actually like a 5-road, 4-road kind of thing going on. So let's choose this one, no?
A tourist favorite activity of Kotor is getting these really huge, cheap slices of pizzas, because Montenegro is so close to Italy. There's a lot of Italian influence on the food, but in Kotor, for €3 you get these big slices of pizzas.
We got this slice for €3.
There are many of these shops in the town, so don't fill your belly in just one place. Like, for example, this pizza had really good sauce, but the bread was slightly more bready American. And then we headed to another pizza shop, which was slightly more crowded, but the crust of these pizzas was slightly more burnt, traditional Italian style, which I like. We were surprised to find a quieter spot finally where we could see the cats, the popular cats of Kotor, hiding away from the huge amount of tourists that we could see coming in flow from the cruise ships. One of the most unusual spots that you can visit while you're in Kotor is a cat museum. A museum solely dedicated to the cats, and the entry is around €2 per person, and this money is donated to feeding the cats. After a quick nap in the car, it was finally time for the speedboat.
So we're gonna be doing a boat tour from the Bay of Kotor, and our plan was to go to like a blue cave, but sadly because of the
Rains and
bad weather and violent waves, we won't be going to blue cave to
But
swim.
instead, we are going to a Lady of the Rock and
News is that we're getting a whole yacht to ourselves.
So the yacht accommodates more people, but fortunately, no one else signed up other than us, and we got this private experience of experiencing the speedboat just by ourselves. We also got a peek back at Perast, the lovely village that we saw in the morning, and we soon approached Our Lady of the Rocks. Once we docked, our tour guide was telling us about the history and origin of this church and also local fables that are attached to it. So apparently, this church or island was made by dropping rocks into the sea. So every time a sailor would have a successful voyage, they would drop a rock. This tradition is continued even today on a particular festival that is celebrated. Our favorite stories to hear was of this embroidered tapestry that was made by a woman for her partner who went out on journey, and he never returned, but she used her hair along with threads to make this one, and eventually her hair turned from dark to light. So that's what you can see in the painting as well. You can visit the museum with a fee in the daytime, but since it was evening, we had some other plans.
is it cold?
So we were supposed to jump in the blue cave, but because of weather disruptions, we requested our tour guide to just drop off anywhere so that we can take a swim fine. And he just stopped in the middle of nowhere and he was like, jump. And we jumped. And it was one of the most memorable moments of being in Montenegro. The water was so deep, we were so scared, but we were so glad we did it. So we decided to pick up some groceries in Bali because we wanted to spend the evening at home. You could find a lot of local things like bakery items or even local dips and sauces and cured meats, cold cuts.
So we're done with our grocery shopping.
After our grocery run, we just drove back home. It was a rather peaceful drive back. Me and Ambarish didn't even speak to each other. We were just listening to music and really focusing on the road because it became super dark in between. It was still quite peaceful, and it was one of the perfect ways to end the night.
Oyster Farm is 2 feet away.
We are going to enjoy oyster
And mussels.
and mustard.
And seafood. How cringy.
It is very difficult to eat it like that.